All right, what up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? If you do not know who I am, my name is RJ, and today I'm at one of my favorite places, one of my favorite temples. This is the Sai Lai Temple here in Hacienda Heights. It's one of the largest temples on the West Coast. It is a Buddhist temple that was built by the International Buddhist Association. This temple is dedicated towards its Shakyamuni Buddha, Medicine Buddha, and Amitabha Buddha. Very, very powerful. One of my favorite places to practice for everybody that's in the course. You know, one of the reasons why we go through different temples and sacred places is so we can train our mental body. When you're developing yourself and your psychic awareness, when you're developing yourself when it comes to the hermetic practice and stuff, going to sacred places, going to temples is very, very important because once again, you're developing the mental body. You know, you can't get the type of development and training that you do in the forest here and vice versa. Completely different things. So understanding the places of power and how to tap into those places of power, very, very, very beautiful. One of the beautiful things as we're developing ourselves like here, the place is really, really powerful. This is not just like one of those like on the street type of temples that's just for tourists and stuff like this. This is a monastery. This has monks and nuns and stuff everywhere. They're actually developing themselves. They It's very, very powerful. And going into the actual shrine there, you can see, back there, going in there, you have the ability to mentally transfer into all of this sacredness and devotion and the prayers of all the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that have been in that place, depending on how old the temple is. And you can literally tune into that same level of combined sacredness and devotion, and that becomes a part of your being. You know, frequency of your mind will match that, and you can bring it into equanimity. And the type of mental awareness and power that you gain from it is something that you cannot get anywhere else. You cannot get it in the forest. You cannot get it just sitting in your room. You can't get it, doing regular meditation practice or anything like that. You literally astral breathe, um, vital breathe, Akasha breathe, and then tune into it. And then even in the space like this, if you're practicing deity yoga and you've tuned your mind into that, when you approach the altar with that level of sacredness, not with your set level of prayer and reverence. You literally use the combined force of the sacredness and devotion and reverence of all those hundreds, thousands and thousands of people that have prayed in that space before. And the way that it reflects through your psyche is much deeper than in any other way. Very, very powerful. When you go into this state, I'm going to share some videos like this in the video course for the Kabbalah and for the Master Key, because when we're doing this, you know, this is how you gain deeper awareness and ability to work with your light bodies, to work with those higher levels of light that you've cultivated in your past incarnations. Just going through the practices in the course for everybody, you start to build a deeper connection with it and understanding with your light bodies and all those tendencies, all the work, all the skills, all this, work that you've done in past incarnations, they just naturally start to arise. Now, when you start doing more Akasha work, you can tune in directly to those past life skills and levels of awareness. Going to a place like this allows you to have deeper access to it. And once again, it reticulates through your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your tendencies. Yesterday is a Orthodox Catholic holiday in which they celebrate the falling asleep or the death of Mary, Jesus' mother. And during this holiday, they have a huge feast and then they fast for 2 weeks. You know, for me, over the past couple of days, I've had this overwhelming urge of I need to fast. I'm getting ready to completely fast for a whole week, for 2 weeks. This is a part of my psyche, and I've felt this urge. I've been sharing it with people, sharing it with my partner. Hey, look, Natalia, I'm really, I know I'm about to fast and do this, but I've also had this urge to I want to feast. Cool. It's time to eat. It's kind of time to kind of splurge and then not really splurge, but just dive in. Cool. We have a feast. Eat good and then fast. And that was literally because of the Akasha work. And that part of me that tuned into that light in that time, it's literally expressing itself through my own thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, right, and my actions. and you become super sensitive to this and understanding how the light bodies work. And like I said, the easiest and quickest way to get that is through doing the hermetic training, boom, going to places of power, going into temples and sacred places, because your mind has to be quiet and aware, and in that state of reverence in order for that light to stream through. Um, and like I said, practicing everything equally helps, especially in the beginning. What up, Tyra Truth? What up, Lisa? What up, Jay? What up, Say? I've been talking since I started. I haven't really acknowledged anybody, but how are you guys doing? Hope you all are having a very, very blessed and beautiful morning thus far. And like I said, um, continue to practice. And like I said, everything makes everything else stronger and better. All the practices we do, all the, journaling, the vital energy, working with the trees and vital energy, going out into the forest, the astral training, even the journaling, even going to the places of power, going into sacred places and temples of training, it makes everything better. Everything becomes better. The quality, the frequency, the refinement of your spirit and your mind and your ability to tune into things, increases dramatically from coming in places like this. Your ability to conduct more forces and energy and become more aware of, your physical limitations of power, and generating more vitality within your being. You can only get that from the forest. You can't get that in a temple. But that also makes the strength of your mind stronger. Your astral awareness and power stronger. Your manifesting capabilities and your ability to see through time and space becomes stronger, but you have to develop yourself equally, mentally, astrally, and physically. Cannot allow either one of them to lag behind, because if you do, part of you is going to suffer because of it, and you may not see it in the beginning. Very, very important that you kind of understand that. But once again, the more you develop yourself, the more each one of you, each part of your being becomes stronger. The more your spirit senses wake up, the more connections you have. This dragonfly keeps like circling around me. And like I said, practice, come to sacred places. If you're in like a, kind of like not really near a big metropolitan area or whatever, there's still sacred places you can go to. For me, I'm at this Buddhist temple. In the beginning, I used to go to a lot of Catholic churches and stuff. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. The home of Notre Dame University is a Catholic school. They have a basilica. It's called Sacred Heart Basilica. That's one of my favorite places. I've had a lot of Catholic incarnations, and the angels, even before I dove really deep into my experience, the Catholic angels made themselves very, very known, even in my physical reality. and that connection, that light has always been there. So before, when I was beginning my journey and I was on those, those astral realms, and that's the frequency I was working with. Um, like I said, the basilica was amazing. I went there, did my mental training, changed my life. Literally, the frequency of my mind, the refinement, the feeling of my mind's ability to look at something and to see things and interact with it went from here to here in that Catholic basilica. Now there's positives and negatives that come from that. And the Catholic, realms are dualistic. It's a lot of, dogma, a lot of like interesting things that's in there. And, every religion has that. Every religion, every system has their own cultural, type of things that may not be in alignment with the truth or with metaphysics or anything like that. And it's important to see that, because when you go into a dualistic space, yes, you'll get the benefit of that light and raise up to that level of sacredness, but also all the karma and all the beings and all the thought forms and energy and stuff that's tied to that will become a part of you too, even if it's just for a little bit. So when I used to go to the Catholic Basilica, which I absolutely love, it's still one of my favorite places in the entire world. Very, very beautiful. All the Catholic beings and energy and stuff like that, was telling me, you're going to go to hell if you do this. You're going to go to hell if you do it. And they were showing me hellish images and stuff like that or whatever, because that's how our psyche works. We take on information and thought forms and then feelings and stuff from our environment and what we tune into and what we find sacred and what we love. And that's the way that energy flows through our being, is through those things that we identify with. So it's important to see that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to move my camera in a second. It's in the sun. I hope it don't overheat. Um, But yeah, I'm gonna move it right here and just kind of hold on to it. It says God slash devil, supernatural entity or energy vibrating at various frequencies, full polarity. It's everything is everything. I said I keep imagination. They sided with them. Everything is everything. It's all the realm that you dwell in and what you sign up for. There's no there's different levels of truth. The lower realms are all tied into dogma and delusions and duality. The higher realms, you're moving into the oneness with God, literally. And even if you look at um, the Jewish categorization of the angels, right? There's a vibrational scale of angels, and the lower ones, the ones on the very very bottom. Even throughout the Bible, these are the ones that talk to the prophets. They're closer to the physical. They're in those dualistic realms, and this is a thing. And as you raise up higher into higher frequencies, everybody that's in the course, you can see, how it ties to the vibrational scale, where they're at, what realms they influence, and how they interact with the physical world. The same thing happens to us and our level of awareness and what we tune into and how we interact with the world. You know, so raise your awareness, and you can start from wherever you're at. Like for me, the Catholic Basilica changed my life. Will I go there and do the same type of mental training now as I was doing back there? Hell no. I don't need any Catholic entities telling me you're going to go to hell because I want to be intimate with my girlfriend. That's furthest thing from the truth. But that's how our psyche functions. I'm not down with that. And it's beautiful, but this is how you begin to develop yourself, develop higher levels of awareness, to begin to see your light bodies, to see the things that you resonate with, right? And all that past light and those Akashic diamonds that we've been developing over many many incarnations. And one of the most beautiful ways to do that is to visit beautiful places like this. For those of you that are coming to the California Sagadala trip next year, this is one of the places that we will most definitely be going to. Let me see if I can get my camera right so I don't have to hold it, but it's not in the sun. Says, where are you? Very, very nice. I am at the, hold on, it's the Buddhist temple. I know you can see the light. I'm not in a very good place to like set this anywhere. um, but this is the largest Buddhist temple on the West Coast. It's very very beautiful, and it's actually a monastery. And lots of people visit here. They have tons of different ceremonies and stuff, and it's beautiful. I practice a lot of different Buddhist practices. When it comes to the realm of hermetics, Buddhism, certain aspects of Buddhism, is the final key to hermetics, understanding metaphysics, the final and highest teachings on non-self, and developing that relationship so you can release your mind, you can release all the astral light and the things that's binding to your spirit, so you can enter into nirvana and then the paranirvana. That's how you touch the very very highest realms and then even exit the system. So in the realm of hermetics, the highest Buddhist teachings are, the highest hermetic teachings. They're in direct alignment. A lot of the teachings within Buddhism are based off of, truth, how to see truth, how to liberate your mind so you can raise into higher levels of truth, and using the spiritual hierarchy to get there. It's literally like a lot of the teachings are exactly the same. The thing about Buddhism is that it's a lot of cultural influences too. A lot of their precepts aren't really grounded in truth. I'm not gonna say a lot. There's some of them that's literally just cultural because somebody, weird things happen in the past and they make it okay, cool. We're going to stand by this. And another thing with Buddhism and even Hermetics, in order for you to take full advantage of it, you have to be highly intuitive. Is that in Hacienda Heights? Yes, it is. Um, you have to be highly intuitive to really make sense of it, because remember, as you're developing higher levels of awareness, you have to be highly aware, and that's your spirit senses have to be super sensitive, because understanding the higher spiritual practices and insights and dharma and universal law, you can only do it through your spirit, through direct experience. And this is why we do all the training. This is why we do the psychic development, why we develop higher levels of awareness, because if you don't have that, you're going to be experiencing a lot of things and studying a lot of information, but it's not going to bridge into your actual experience. It will be theory. It will be, just an intellectual concept and idea outside of anything you've ever experienced. Then it's going to make sense to you, but it may not be anything remotely close to what it is in reality. And that's the thing. That's the difference between, let's say, a scientist and a sage. That difference right there, and the difference between a philosopher and a sage. The philosopher will understand things on an intellectual level, where the sage will, be able to grasp concepts that the philosopher cannot even conceive. So there's a huge difference in psychology and understanding and experience, even though they can talk about the same exact subject and even agree upon the same exact things. The philosopher's understanding through experience will be completely and vastly different than what the sage can grasp and even is speaking about, because it's universal. We say all types of things, but it makes sense from your level of perception, whatever that level is. That doesn't mean we're talking about the same thing or the same experience. It's universal. So it means something on every single level. The goal is to raise your level of awareness so you can know through direct experience in the higher realms. In Buddhism, it's called the Bodhi mind. It's called the Bodhi mind. You have to develop the mind so you can see universal law, so you can see Dharma. You cannot understand or practice Dharma until you have developed the flexibility of your mind to see truth. And if you're in those lower dualistic realms, you won't be able to see it. And that's the first part of enlightenment, is developing that aspect of your mind, so you can see it. And everything that I teach, gets you there pretty quickly. So then you can, continue the great work and be able to see things from that higher perspective. Until you get to that, everything is theory. Everything is philosophy. Everything is intellectual construct, which really may not be in alignment with the truth. You know, so I strongly suggest that you seek that, wherever you're at. Always, when you practice, when you pray, when you, whatever it is that you're seeking, the answers that you're looking for, always be willing to see it outside of your current level of perception and understanding, because you need that as a precept in order to learn the truth and experience the truth, to experience universal law, to experience Dharma. If you're stuck with this idea or concept that you're going to be able to get it from a book, from a person, from a video, or from a lecture, that is not real. You cannot do that. You can only do it through developing yourself and developing your mind and developing deeper levels of concentration, so the mind becomes flexible. You're developing that Bodhi mind, so you can then tune into the universal mind, or the Buddha mind, as they say. And like I said, one of the problems, one of the negative aspects when it comes to, even tuning into some of the Buddhist light and stuff too, is all of these. Oh, I pray that this don't fall, because this is real sketchy what I got to sit in. When it comes to developing yourself, right? A lot of the Buddhist systems are, Buddhism wasn't meant to be a religion, nothing even remotely close to that, right? It's meant as a system of teachings and rituals in order to develop the universal mind, to liberate your spirit, to liberate your mind, right? Um, so even when you're reading some of the sutras and some, pamphlets and stuff on that, once again, you have to be highly intuitive to separate the truth from, a cultural projection from somebody's understanding when they wrote that, because it's a lot of that. Even in some of the pamphlets and stuff that I've gotten here, oh, cool, that's not really what that means. I've been to Dharma, sessions and stuff where everybody gets together and they're giving their insight and understanding and stuff. And you can't see it unless you're literally psychic. You have to be highly intuitive in order to fully understand truth and what's in alignment with Dharma and universal law. So I suggest that you train that. If you want to train that and develop it to a very high degree, check out the link in the bio. This is what we do. This is what I teach, so you can be your own teacher, so you can look at anything you place your mind on. For those of y'all in the Kabbalah course, tune into the letter A. And once again, we're at a whole nother level. Your understanding of it begins to go from here to I'm in resonance with it completely. But if you want to develop higher levels of awareness, to be able to see your own stuff first, and then to develop, resonance with universal law, so you can see truth for what it is and develop from there, check out the link in the bio. For anybody that signs up today, if you use the promo code TikTok, it takes like 25% off. You get year-long access to all the different video libraries. Um, Level one is mastering the elements. So we're understanding our relationship between air, fire, water, earth, and Akasha, and bringing them into equanimity so you can develop the inner environment in which the Bodhi mind, or your higher psychic awareness, is even possible. If you have too much chaos within your psyche, within your subconscious, within your physical experience, then it's not possible for you to become aware and to develop that level of awareness. And that's what level one is, mastering the elements. So you're developing equanimity mentally, astrally, and physically. Level two is direct psychic development. How do you train your psychic abilities? How do you train your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, mental transference, mental wandering, all these skills that you need to make sense and to interact and to experience the formless aspects of creation. Through this, you become a creator. You are going towards being your own teacher. You begin to see your stuff very quickly because you're changing your relationship to time and space, right? Very, very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. From there, we're going into magical invocation. If you've ever studied Buddhism or anything like that, and even not even Buddhism, any true spiritual system, there's a vibrational scale. There's intelligence. There's thought forms. There's different levels of consciousness, and you're raising from where you're at all the way to the highest, and that's ascension. In hermetics and pretty much in any system, that's kind of the metaphysics of how it functions. But in hermetics, you're going from the elements to the astral to the cosmic energies to the non-dual light energies, and you're equalizing with it. So through invocation, you're learning how to learn from creation, from different aspects, and equalize with it to where those frequencies, those energies, those levels of consciousness become submissive to your mind instead of you being submissive to it. And then from there, we're going into Kabbalah. And we just started our Kabbalah sessions. Really, really beautiful. So Kabbalah is understanding the cosmic language. And you have to go through this progression of practice in order to fully get it and to work with it and to understand the language of God, essentially. And it's beautiful. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's self-development. You take your own time and developing yourself, and everything aligns, and it's absolutely beautiful. So once again, if you're interested, if you'd like to join, check out the link in the bio. You can use the promo code TikTok. Is take off 25%, which is like $111. You get instant access, year-long access. You can join in on the group Zoom meetings. I do 2 group Zoom meetings a week, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. They last between usually about an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in between there. You can ask questions. It's very, very beautiful. It says, where are you? I am at one of my favorite Buddhist temples here in Hacienda Heights. Is outside of LA. It's the largest Buddhist temple on the West Coast, and one of my favorite places. It's a very, very powerful, sacred place. It's actually a monastery. There's tons of monks that live here and practice here and everything too. So once again, the benefit of going to a place like this greatly exceeds that of like one of those tourist temples and things that you'll go to in like Chinatown or something like that, because they're actually practicing. It's completely different psychology, completely different energy. You can feel the sacredness and can feel the power um, of what you're working with in a space like this. So very, very powerful. But like I said, for anybody interested, check out the link in the bio. If you would like to join us, wow, it's a beautiful hawk up here circling around. That's why I love being sacred spaces. I feel like I'm in Sedona right now because the dragonflies, the butterflies flying around, the hawk circling around. All the spirit team is out. So if anybody's interested, next month, September 12th through the 19th, we're going to be in Sedona, Arizona, and it's an initiation into Hermetics retreat. And we're doing 4 or 5 hours of practice every single day while we're there, to develop your psychic abilities, higher levels of awareness, to activate your light bodies and everything else, so you can understand and practice. We're going through different magical practices, and you will leave a changed person. Your level of skill and awareness will go from here to there. With that, the course is also included. The course is also included in that, and it's beautiful. So if you're interested, your room is included, some food is included, and everything else, and it's powerful. Sedona is one of the most powerful places in America. It's a huge Akashic, intergalactic, type of portal, or vortex, as they say, super powerful. So even just being in the energy on its own, you get tons of growth, and a lot of beautiful things happen. If you're going there with the direct intent and you have a connection, you know how to practice and take advantage of it, you leave completely on a different level. And that's what we're taking advantage of. And this is going to be during it's a full moon, super moon, lunar eclipse in one of the most powerful places in America, doing some of the most powerful practices you can do in your own spiritual development. So it's really, really, really beautiful. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the bio. If you use the promo code 888, I still got that up for that. It'll take 888 off of the cost. And like I said, you get instant access to all the material and stuff too. And I look forward to seeing you. So if very interested, please send info. You got to message me either on here or message me on Instagram. All that information is on the link in my bio. Check out the link. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me know. This is what I'm here for. Like I said, it's life changing. And once again, you can check. There's what 25 people in here right now. I guarantee you, at least 10 of them are in the course right now, and they can share their experience. And it's beautiful. And it's a process too. I offer these retreats and even like year-long access and stuff to the course, because it's not something that just like you go from here to I'm a master in like 4 weeks. It doesn't work that way. Now, will you grow and develop and have really profound, beautiful, magical experiences and stuff? Yes, if you're dedicated to yourself, yes, you will. But the kind of profound experiences that you have on week 3 are going to be completely different than the ones that you have in month 6 or year 1 or year 2 or year 3. Like it's a progression. You're ascending. So it's levels to it. And as you continue to grow and evolve, it becomes a very, very beautiful process in which you become your own teacher. That's my goal, is to get you to the point where you become your own teacher. How do you connect to universal consciousness, God consciousness, Christ consciousness, and fully understand it? Because there's levels to it. I was talking to my sister earlier, and everybody has their own stuff. So she's down in the lower realms, and when we're in those lower realms, those lower realms are the realms of delusion. And things might sound like a good idea, might look like a good idea, but if you're in those lower realms, and you can tell this by looking at your experience, look around you. Are you in a place of harmony? All right, is your mind in a place of peace and harmony? Are the people around you, that you're connected to, in a place of peace and harmony? And I'm not talking about the people that you're helping or anything like that, but your closest people that you really, really love. Are they in a harmonious state? Is your environment in a harmonious state? Do you have a lot of chaos going on in your life? That will tell you which realm you're in. Even looking at the energies around you, dragonflies, it's like literally just zooming around me, right? That's really indicative of the energies around you, literally. And when people talk about the animal totems and stuff like that, if you're in like a water type of realm, you'll literally see water represented all around you. It'll be mermaids, it'll be all types of dolphin energies and stuff like that, right? So this is a good indication of where you're at and the energies you're working with. The goal is to continue work upward, and everything that you have within your experience now, you use as a vehicle to get to where you want to go. What up, Maribellis? How you doing? You know, so whatever cards you've been dealt, understand that, that's what you have to work with. And you have to be realistic about it. You have to see yourself and who you are, for who you are, where you are, and use that to get to where you want to go. You have everything within you to get there. And it's very, very beautiful. And everything that I teach and share is how you can use that and work your way up. And things literally begin to align and become very, very harmonious and beautiful, and makes it the path very, very enjoyable and easy. Very, very easy. Like I said, for me, I don't experience like any type of crazy karma and stuff. Like my life is really easy. And it's not because it's so funny, because somebody was like, "Oh, you're just trying to sell it." It's not because of that. Because listen, I am not rich, not even remotely close. you know, does the universe take care of me in really beautiful ways? Yes, but this ain't that. But my life is still very, very easy. It's very, very easy. Everything lines up, but you're changing your relationship to all these different aspects and getting to understand how, creation functions and your place in it, and how, the part of you that is literally God is always seeking to guide you for your development, for your growth. And the more you can understand that, the more you can get out of those lower dualistic, hellish, type of realms, and raise up and the quality of your life becomes a lot better. The quality of the people around you, your experiences become more magical, and you can use that to get to where you want to go, even, wealth wise, even mentally, health wise. It's very important that you understand these concepts and ideas and that you seek to have it, because, life doesn't have to be the struggle. You don't have to, go through all these really crazy, lessons and stuff that aren't necessarily real per se. Everything that's astral is not real. And you can't really say this to somebody that's like in their feelings and depressed or like going through some stuff, but astral things are not real. When you're developing yourself, developing your mind, developing your spirit, you're developing the ability to release all those astral attachments so you can see truth in your experience. Now, there's different levels of truth. What may be true to you right now is true to you. It's your truth. That doesn't mean it's the truth. It's what you're experiencing. But most of what we experience, especially in the lower levels of our own doing. There's nothing external to you doing it. And in those lower delusional realms, they're literally realms of delusion. And the goal is to raise up into higher levels of truth so you can see truth, moving up towards the objective truth. And the only objective truth is God, essentially. Or in the Hindu traditions, they'll say Brahma, which is the universal mind, when Shiva is light. So Brahma would be the Akasha, right? And Shiva is light. Until you are touching those two oscillations between formless and form, right? And you can ground your awareness into it. Everything that you experience is subjective. Everything. So I'm rich and I live in luxurious earth where there's abundance of all things. Sacred knowledge is free, for sure, for sure. But you have to, be willing to see it, too. Like I said, I had a conversation with my sister earlier, and you know, one of the things, and I'm going to end this pretty soon because I don't know how long my phone is going to last or whatever. But like I said, always be willing to see truth outside of your current level of perception. Don't take anything on as this is this concrete, indefinite anything until you have proven it to be so. Very, very, very important. Says Sarah J. We talked about the payment plan on Instagram. I can make the first one today. Awesome, awesome, beautiful. Just message me and then we'll set that up. And if anybody else is interested, like I said, if you're interested in joining the course, if you're interested in coming to Sedona next month, if you're interested in doing our trip through California, through all the beautiful places, you can message me. Like I said, there's payment plans available. There's coupon codes and all types of stuff. And this is what I'm here for, and I'll work with anybody. If you're dedicated to yourself and you're truly searching and dedicated to developing yourself, this is what I'm here for. I'm down to work with anybody. So what's an example of giving blessings when you're in the water realm? I mean, you can give blessings of any kind. We're working with the water element. Um, literally, if you're to the point where you can connect to light, you stream that light through the three bodies. you saturate your mental, astral, and physical body with light, and you mentally transfer into the water realm, and you just give your blessings. Always when we're going through those types of trainings or whatever, always, I'm a student on the path. You don't want to emanate the feeling of, oh my God, I'm this spiritual master or anything like that, because you know nothing, no level of consciousness is going to want to teach you anything because you're emanating that you know it all. you know, They'll always have the frequency of I'm a student on the path, and that's a great way to awaken some of your insights and connections, especially through the water element. You know, um, and when we're working with different elements and different like kabbalistic frequencies and stuff like that, you give your blessing. That's it. That's all it takes. When you go into sacredness, reverence, state of prayer, it's a state of being. You don't have to actually, oh, I pray, well, this, that. You can, and that's cool. But it's a state of being. When you are giving blessings, you never want to project your belief of how that energy should manifest for somebody else. That's egoic, and you don't know what's best for anybody. I mean that. This is for everybody. We don't even know what's good for us half the time. We have this astral idea of what we want and what we want to experience and where we want to go, but never project, oh, may this person have this or whatever. If you have developed a deep relationship with the water element, you literally tune into the light of the water element. You can send that blessing to that other person and allow that energy, that pure energy, to manifest for them the way that it's meant to, because your connection to it, because you've developed the ability for the water element to be submissive to your mind. You literally just send out your blessing. Maybe water element bless them. And if you've built up a lot of energy, you can literally stream it through them, put them in a bubble of high frequency water element, and it will benefit them. Their water element begins to become more and more balanced, but not to say, oh, I made this energy do this for this specific person, because that may not be what's good for them. So, very, very important to kind of look at that. It says, may God awaken the political people. Once again, even that's a state of dualism and type of delusion, right? Everybody is exactly where they need to be. If I wasn't really deeply into politics in the past, I would not be who I am today. That's part of my journey, and we need to have that level of duality in order for some people to cross a couple bridges and things like that. And even the crooked politicians and everything else, if they did not exist, then you wouldn't have the freedoms that you have now. All is all, everything is everything. The goal is to raise your levels of awareness and your relationship to everything, so you can see the oneness of all. If there's a part of you that's separating it and believing that there are two powers, and that there's this good and evil and God and the devil, and there's something outside of God that's more powerful than universal or infinite intelligence, then you're in that dualistic realm that you might want to do some practices or level, some concentrating and meditating on how can you raise up above that, because that's essentially a hell realm. To look at anybody and say, oh, well, may they get this and that or whatever. We don't know what's good for anybody, and for you can see your own life. Infinite intelligence, the universal mind, God, whatever you would like to call it, works in the most magical and amazing synchronistic ways, and everything has a divine purpose. There's nothing that's not sacred. Even the lower hellish realms are sacred, and it's all God, 100% of it. Now what we can do to help raise people out of that, once again, you can inspire them, especially through your own personal actions and experiences, so you can raise those people up, share your light. But it's not like, oh, I need to change this person, do that, because just like you yourself, you wouldn't be the person who you are if you didn't consciously want that change. Nobody can make you change. Nobody can come to you and say, this is what you need to do. I can't sit here and be like, this is exactly what you need to do. No, you know, you have to want it for yourself, just like everybody else. And the more that you can inspire people and share your light, so they want it for themselves, and they begin to see, their blessings and the oneness of all, the easier everybody's life becomes, and the more, this entire planet becomes enlightened, and it's beautiful, and there's levels to it. There's always levels to it, but once again, I suggest that, don't stay bound to any of the dualistic constructs or anything like that. Everything is everything, and the more you see the oneness of all, the more you become connected to all, the more synchronicity, the more growth, the more skill, the more awareness you begin to have. But the more you separate yourself, the more you contract and put yourself into a box, and I mean that. So, like I said, take this, and meditate on it, and see how you can expand, contemplate what may be keeping you in the box, what belief structures you've developed, and like all of who we are is a manifestation of our traumas, our past experiences, our core memories, our relationships to different things. All the subconscious belief structures are deeply rooted in that, so being willing to look at some of that, and even going into prayer, going into the most sacred part of our being, and allowing some of those things to come up to the surface, so we become aware, so we can alleviate those connections and attachments, is what liberates you. But you have to develop that equanimity. You have to develop the mind to be able to see the things that's keeping you in a box, because nobody can see their own stuff. Nobody can see what's keeping them in the box. And like I said, look at your own experience. And the best thing that you could ever do for humanity, for the people you love, the people in your immediate environment, is to be the best you and to expand yourself. And through that expansion, you will inspire the people around you to expand, just through resonance, you'll start to see them expand. You cannot project anything or anybody external to you and expect them to change, because that's not the way it works. You know, it's not the way it works, you know. But the more you can understand this, you know, the more you question yourself, you know, ask yourself questions. How am I wrong in this situation? And everything, all your disputes, all of the you know, all the arguments that you have with other people, right? What's my part in this? How can I change my part in this? Because you're not going to be able to change anybody else's part but yours. And once you can acknowledge that and see yourself and you know, change your relationship to it, then everybody else's relationship to it will begin to change. But it starts with you. Your entire reality and then your experience starts with you. You have manifested everything within your experience. There's nobody external to you that brought it upon you, unless you're like a child, you know. And at this level, it's all you. There's a part of you that says, you know, this is what it is, and this is what I need to be going through in order for me to grow and evolve. But you have to be able to see it, you know. And if you want to learn more, once again, check out the link in the bio. If you use the promo code TikTok, use a PayPal option or whatever, and you'll save like $111 off of it, off the course, you know, year-long access. If you have any questions for me, by all means, you can book a one-on-one. You can message me if you're interested in coming to any of the retreats or workshops or anything. That information is in there. We have a healing retreat in October. Now, this one is not hosted by me, but I will be teaching there. And that's going to be at the Element Hotel in Sedona in October. It's a 3-day thing. That's available for everybody. But if you want to learn psychic development and then, you know, ascension and get access to the course and everything else, and then to practice in person, which you get much higher level of resonance and growth doing the group practices like in person. You know, you can check out that link in the bio for that. And once again, that is next month from the 12th to the 19th in Sedona. And it's going to be very, very beautiful. It's the initiation to Hermetics workshop. Like I said, from there, all the skills that you get, you become a, you know, a leader in whatever field you're in, whether you're a healer, a teacher, whether you're a physicist, whether you're a psychologist, a doctor. Literally, you know, you're ascending and understanding the metaphysics of what ascension is. And wherever you rest your mind upon as you ascend, then when light comes into this physical realm, it's going to stream and conduct through you before it conducts down the vibrational scale. So you become a creator, literally. And it's beautiful, and you become your own teacher. So if you would like to develop yourself to a very, very high degree, you know, and be a part of the tribe and the community, this is what this is for. You know, so check out the link in the bio if you have any questions. Once again, you can book a one-on-one. You can message me if you want to set up a payment plan or anything. You know, this is why I'm here. If you're truly dedicated in developing yourself, you know, I'm here to work with you. You know, it says open those energy centers. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, you know, so that's all I have for now. You know, I'm about to go enjoy the rest of my day. Probably go back in there and do some meditation and connection. You know, I look forward to hearing from you guys. And once again, this retreat that we have next month, life changing, beautiful. It's during a cosmic synchronicity, very, very beautiful. Super moon, full moon. We have another super moon this week. You know, Sunday going into Monday, it's a super moon too. It's a super moon, blue moon. But this one coming next month is a super moon, full moon, lunar eclipse. So we're taking advantage of all that energy in Sedona, you know, in the vortexes, doing our hermetic psychic development practices and stuff. And it's beautiful, you know, it's really, really beautiful. And don't forget that the year-long membership to the course is included in that too. So if you're interested, you know, let me know. And this is why I'm here. Until later, I might stream later. We'll see. Everybody have a very, very blessed and beautiful rest of your day. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.